Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to your home for Deadlock News, Deadlock Weekly. We've got an update on when to expect the next major update, and even how Justin Bieber promoted Deadlock this week. We are getting into all that as well as our normal weekly items, and obviously we're going to finish off reading your comments. So if you want to stay in the loop with all things Deadlock, be sure to subscribe. So the first item on our docket this week is the recent Halloween patch, which came out on Thursday, or Friday actually, which I have to take the neck a little bit here. Pretty much all the content we talked about that could possibly wind up in this Halloween update, it seems like is going to be delayed in favor of making it part of the next major update, and that update is going to be huge. We'll talk more about that soon. But we did get a quick hit for balance this week, and we got our seasonal Halloween items, which I just love that little stuff. I think seasonal updates are so fun, but I won't lie, the balancing decisions I think are a little bit peculiar. I'm really surprised to see that Kelvin just got a slap on the wrist. He probably should have gotten nerfed more heavily, and Calico only getting a Gloom Bombs nerf had me really just jumping for joy. As you can see this week, I've been playing Haze and Infernus a lot, so I haven't really actually taken advantage of this time where Calico's really strong, and so to be able to put that off a little bit longer is nice. The jump pad nerf, though, is absolutely massive as well. It's been of pretty minor impact in my games, I won't lie, but people just really don't fight around the jump pads in my Oracle lobbies. But watching the Trolli Open this weekend, it's clear how huge of a deal this is going to be in the long run. It was the cause of multiple deaths that the pros would otherwise have escaped from, that we've seen them escape from a million times already. It's not nearly as punishing as the zipline stun, but it is a neutered version of the same effect. And the stun is long enough for, if you're not following them, you to be able to hop up onto the jump pad and then follow them to where they are stunned at. So Valve clearly doesn't want people to be using these as easy escape tools, which kind of stinks. This is my preference here because I see the gameplay function, but I really don't like the movement nerfs we've gotten across the board recently. Wall jumps before this, and now going back into the summer, I think it was the 4th of July update that they put heroes into like the stamina buckets. And I liked that at the time, but now in hindsight, I'm not sure how I feel, given that it seems like that was just one step of them along the path of nerfing movement in general. So in conclusion, hero balance I thought was in a pretty good state outside of the outliers like Calico and Kelvin, so I find it a bit strange the route they went for to rebalance them, quote unquote. And Yoshi also announced the dev team is hoping to have the next major update ready for December. And the focus on that update is the reason that the devs didn't prepare anything new for us for Halloween, but I'm perfectly content with what we got. Nonetheless, Yoshi left a delay on the table for the December update, saying that they'll let us know when they're more sure on the release window. But it's worth noting that the last time they said this, when they did let us know, it was, I think, less than 24 hours before the update. So keep an eye out for December. Obviously, Yoshi didn't make any mention of what kind of content was incoming, but I have to imagine that it will be most, if not all, of the stuff we've talked about the past few weeks. Deadlock has been on a pretty consistent major update schedule for the past year now, with one coming out every 2 to 3 months. To say that the next major update will be massive after 4 months of development time is an understatement. For example, there are 3 months between the shop update in May and the obviously massive hero update that launched us into this Deadlock 2.0 we've sort of been playing this fall. And so guys, you can mark this down. This isn't an informed opinion, by the way, by any means. This is just me literally guessing by myself, shot in the dark, but I have to predict that the next major update is going to have at least the ARAM modes, base restructures and the map details, multiple character redesigns, and at least 2 new heroes. Keep in mind, they're certainly doing very well with this goal, but the devs said at the beginning of 2025, one of their goals this year was to expand the hero pool, which they've added 10 heroes this year. That's quite the expansion. I doubt that they completely closed the door on that in August. And we know at least Venator and Boho are in the pipeline. There are going to be a ton of odds and ends as well, but it felt a bit wrong for me to at least not tell you a complete shot-in-the-dark prediction. Obviously, anything can happen, but I feel like it's a safe bet to say it won't be small. And then guys, if you're a part of the 0.01% of crossover audience between Justin Bieber fans and Deadlock gamers this week, you may have noticed something a bit peculiar on his Instagram page when he announced he was going to be streaming on Twitch. His post was a picture of a big LED wall he was using to show his chat, and the chat was flooded with people saying to go play around in the Cursed Apple. I believe it was Vegas' stream that raided the chat, and unfortunately, we didn't get a big player boost, but it is super duper cool to see, and an easy thing that you can show your friends or your family who might not understand anything about the game or give a fuck about the game, but it's an easy way for you to connect with them about it. Do you see who's on Justin Bieber's Instagram story? And then we also had matchmaking go down briefly last Sunday night, right before Deadlock Weekly. So you can get a little bit of your money back on this, since this is Deadlock Weekly in a few hours. But the matchmaking system broke because, if you're not aware, there actually is a low priority queue system for people who get reported a bunch. And when you're in the low priority queue system, you get matched with other people in low priority queue. Thus, a bunch of other people who have been reported a bunch. And you need to win games to get out of that low prio queue, but you also need to stop getting reported. Otherwise, your value that's keeping you in low priority queue, whatever that value keeping track of reporting is, it's going to keep going up. Someone didn't stop having their value go up and got reported so many times that their value exceeded the 8-bit integer limit and broke the matchmaking algorithm completely, and just shut down the matchmaking servers for a couple hours on Sunday. Someone was so toxic the servers literally couldn't handle it and they shut down, which yeah, that's nutty. Then guys, as we crack into our Winrates Weekly, we got Paige and Dynamo on top. Paige I officially get. I don't know whose stream I saw it on this week that they were just like, this character is actually just kind of broken and no one really talks about it. She's got a free trading lane with one of the strongest gun damages in the game if you get close up, which if you've got that shield you're going to be doing, right? A giant root, probably one of the better ults in the game, and then the dragon thing kind of sucks, but it can be useful at times, right? There have been some times I've been walking around and I go, ooh, not that way. And I haven't played Paige recently, but the itemization, it feels like it's really focused in on the rooting people, and yeah, I see why she can be annoying. Luckily, this Paige surge has also timed up well with my Haze/Infernus surge, so I've been running right into Paige and just nuking her. But yeah, I see where the anti-Paige sentiment is coming from, and I think it's probably just the beginning. Dynamo is where I get lost. I haven't seen Dynamo make a big impact in my games, but I did start playing him again late last night, so I'll report back next week. Is it the Impregnator build? Where's Dynamo fucking up your lobbies? Victor is really strong overall, and he's a character that's going to be forever. He just relies on a lot of counterplay that you're just not going to reliably get at lower ranks, but you can see when we look at Phantom, he falls off quickly in this new patch. And yeah, guys, that's one thing I forgot to mention at the top, is that like most weeks when a patch drops late in the week, we are just looking at the past couple of days of win rates here. We're not looking at the complete week so that we don't muddy the pre and post patch data. And so I've been rattling this drum really since the 6 Heroes update came out now, but I feel like generally hero balance is in a pretty good spot. There are always going to be outliers, always, but this looks like a healthy win rate chart in accordance with healthy game balance. And again, I do wonder if Paige is going to change that assessment in the coming weeks. And remember, if Paige does become annoying, guys, you just need to focus her down first, because she's going to be keeping her teammates alive for a long time. So guys, as we break into our tournament roundup, we'll start with Night Shift and then do Trolli Open second. The EU for Night Shift was mainly a precursor to the Trolli Open this week, because the winners of Trolli Open, they're taking home more than 3 times the normal Night Shift winnings. But who could have guessed it was Buff Enjoyers and Abrahams, and actually the last time, at least for now, that we'll see ABL on the Abrahams roster. Some bad blood between the former best player and the team, as ABL left to join Mel Team, which was the remnants of the old one-win roster, which ABL was on, if you recall, a few months ago before the orgs pulled the plug on Deadlock. Regardless, Abrahams actually pulls it out for the first time in 4 weeks, and if I'm honest, probably the last time in a while now that they've lost ABL, although this may age very badly as they are playing each other as I write this right now in the Trolli Open, and Abrahams is up 1 map to none, so we'll see. By the time that this video goes up, you can probably call me an idiot. And in North America this week, we had a rematch of the Trolli Open Finals, the Melee Creeps versus the Sneaky Golems, with Melee Creeps hoping to show their win was not a fluke, and they got 2-0'd. Sneaky Golems were clearly ready for the Melee Creeps to throw what they did at them. John was getting target banned on Bebop as well, which not often you see a Bebop target ban, but all that counterplay made things tough for the Melee Creeps this week. Then we'll jump right into the Trolli Open and keep it going with North America, and the Melee Creeps are actually the winner of the North American Trolli Open. Maybe Sneaky Golems had some counterplay ready after seeing their big punches at the Trolli Open, because it certainly looked like Sneaky Golems got caught off guard by what Melee Creeps had planned for them, with John on Bebop doing what I can only call bullying the Sneaky Golems. After the 3rd hook in a row, I was calling for a teacher from my desk in the basement. DMB getting Infernus both games, it just felt like a misplay and underestimating their competition start to finish by Sneaky Golems, which is why Melee Creeps walked away 2-0 and a few $1,000s richer. Congratulations to the Melee Creeps. And Europe is going on right as I write this. I've mentioned it a few times now. The group stage yesterday, though, was delectably entertaining. The ABL versus everyone drama is just so, trying to find a different word, but it's just entertaining, especially since he's clearly one of the better players in the region. It wouldn't be nearly as entertaining if he were ass. He's killing people, typing haha in chat. He's a total douche, but it's really fun to watch. And if you don't know, the reason that people don't like ABL at large is because he calls people racial slurs in game chat, so who knows what his former teammates have on him as reasons to not like him, but that's why your normal Joe Schmoes don't like him. Then guys, let's talk some Deadlock. Our first comment comes from Jasper the Doe, who said, "I'm just so happy Gunman and E-Shift is nerfed. The stall you had on that item is insane with Victor and Mina." And can you believe that there used to be a time where E-Shift was a tier 3 item? I remember using it on Calico back then, and what a dream that was. But yeah, with Victor being able to get his aura charged up or just stop taking damage, and Mina's ability to get Sanguine Retreat back online, and then you go back to like before the Sanguine Retreat nerf, when it was like a 7-second cooldown, I mean, that's insane. So it's good to see that one get nerfed, and it really was the combination with Transcendent Cooldown that made it that crazy, which back when it was a tier 3, you gotta remember, Transcendent Cooldown wasn't even in the game to really exploit it when they pushed it from tier 3 to tier 4. And then our next comment comes from Void7837. They just keep on nerfing movement. What kind of fun will there be when it all becomes slow to play? The Shiv right-click boosting was one of the best things about him. I guess it's not that bad now, I'm trying it out. All they changed was ammo being infinite while sliding, which is fine, I guess. I didn't realize something was different about Shiv's slide ammo, but yeah, if I have one issue with the direction that Deadlock's gone the past few months, it's the continual nerfs to movement. The movement is a cornerstone part of this game that gets people to log on, and to see that continually get peeled back, even if it is en route to arrive at quote-unquote a better game state, having less rotation power, etc., I do wonder where it ends, because Valve knows that, right? They know that movement is a part of the sauce. And so I do wonder where they think it will wind up in a good spot. So I think the jump pad nerf was preemptive and unnecessary, but there's a reason why I'm sitting at my desk here in my basement and not at one in the Valve office. I'll really start rattling the saber on this if we start to see movement nerfs. And then finally from Gemly2314, unsure how I feel so far, waiting to see. And I think that's totally fair, dude. This one just made me laugh. I put this poll right up right after the update, so maybe we could learn a thing or two from you about not jumping to conclusions. Then guys, I do have a couple of mods that I really want to show you this week and make sure you guys get installed if they're for you. There are a couple of Toon Mods. I know that there are some folks who are more artistically inclined in the comments section who will be able to like say it's like Steamboat or something. Steamboat Willie is what's in my brain for like this type of art style, but their ability, like the artists, so the first one is Toon Ivy by Basiliskin. Toon Ivy by Basiliskin. This is just such a fantastic job. You guys' ability to get these these models into the source game and interacting in a way that doesn't look janky. I can't say enough good things about this mod. And then the second one, Toon Wraith by Gig What. It also looks like Basiliskin gave some help there based off the credits on the mod page. This is so cool, guys. I encourage you to keep doing this because it would be awesome to get one of these. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of work it is to do it for one hero. But I mean, so I'm not even going to say do it for all of them. But this is so cool. Install it if it's your type of thing. That's all I got for you this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to all the members, guys. If you do want to become a member and get access to Deadlock Weekly early every week, hang out in our members-only part of the Discord, and just support a creator who loves this game, you can do that really easily. So you can do that at the link down in the description. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you again soon. Peace.